Hey everyone, it's Jackson here. To the subscribers, welcome back. To those who are new to our channel, welcome. It's great to have you here. We're going to be continuing our series on frequently asked questions by those of you who are looking to break into the data field. If you haven't watched our first video for this Q&A series, I would highly suggest you check that one out first. But if not, welcome anyway. Today we're just going to be doing an extension of that. There were additional questions about, hey, what are some things that I should look out for as I'm starting out? Was there some things that you wish you knew before you started your data science journey? And what were some obstacles that you ran into as you started your journey? So that's going to be our video today. Again, if you want to stay up to date with our content, if you want to stay up to date with the questions that we're going to be answering, that a lot of them come from you guys, subscribe to our channel, as well as drop a like for the videos, because it really helps us out. So you're probably watching this video because you've heard that data is the next big thing. Analytics is where you have to be. And, data scientist is the sexiest job in the 21st century. All you've been hearing are the positive things about data, right? Like, what about the negative things? Like, what should I be looking out for? And today we're going to be covering that. Today it's my responsibility to be completely honest with you about the data field and just to kind of help you guys out along the way. A question we got from you guys was, what are some of the things you wish you knew when you first started your data science journey? And that's a really great question, because you hear the pros of getting into data science and analytics, such as salary, flexibility, unlimited PTO, you name it, right? But what are some of the brutal, honest truths about getting into data and analytics? Well, the first thing I can think of is it takes a lot of time, patience, and mental fortitude. Like, you have to be really strong in persisting and just being consistent with improving the skills that you would need to, land a data science job or analytics job. The average or median salary in the United States for a data scientist is $95,000. Mid-level data scientists get up to 130K. So that's a lot of money, right? And the truth is, if it was so easy, everyone else would be doing it. And so the truth of the matter is, picking up the skills for data science takes time and is going to be tough, and is going to require you to fully commit and improve each day. And just to add to that, the skills that you're going to be picking up are going to be extremely valuable when you enter the job market, right? Employers are going to be looking for those technical skills that you have that other people do not have. And that's what explains why the salary is much higher for someone that has your skills versus someone who doesn't. When I first started my data science journey, I was in the same shoes as you guys. I was like, oh man, can I do this? Like, I'm scared. And the thing that helped me gain confidence that I could actually do it, the thing that helped me with my mental fortitude in believing that I can pick up the skills necessary for data science, was actually a book. I read a book that wasn't related to data science that helped me create a belief system, a mindset that I could actually do this. I can pick up the skills and I'm going to be a data scientist. The book is called Mindset by Carol Dweck. She is a Stanford researcher who studies why certain people succeed in life and why certain people don't. And that's really relevant to our topic of how we succeed in picking up the necessary data science skills to, land a data scientist or analytics position. And this book really changed my life, not just for data science, but personally. So I would highly recommend it. But basically, the whole premise is, if you believe that you can do something, you're going to do it. And typically, if you don't believe, or you have this negative kind of attitude that, oh, I can't pick up the skills, naturally, you're not going to take action. So to answer the original question of, hey, like, Jackson, what were some of the things that you wish you knew when you first started your data science journey? it's those two things, right? Like one, the confidence and belief system that you're going to succeed at becoming a data scientist, data engineer, data analyst, whatever it may be. And two, that is just going to take time. That is going to require consistent effort, consistent belief, consistent output on my end that, hey, this is going to be something that happens so long as I'm patient. The second question that we got from you guys was, hey, what were some of the obstacles that you faced during your analytics and data science journey? As I'm starting out, what are some things that I should be looking out for? What are some things that I might feel that I would not expect? And the number one thing that comes to mind for me is imposter syndrome. Wondering if you're good enough, wondering if you're cut out for this, right? And just going back to the last point, having a strong mental fortitude, having a strong mindset that you can accomplish this really helps kind of combat those feelings. Feeling like you're not good enough, it's a very normal feeling when you're starting out with anything in life, right? As you're a beginner, you're not going to feel competent. And so that's a natural feeling. The other thing is, as you're picking up new skills such as SQL, Python, just any other coding language, is you're not really sure when you've leveled up. And so when I was going through grad school, yes, I was doing R, I was doing Python, but I never really understood if I leveled up. Like, at what point do I go from beginner to like pro to advanced? Like, that was something that I was always cloudy about and wasn't sure of. And so a practical advice that I can give to you guys is, as you're going through your data science and analytics journey, keep your resume up to date. Keep track of the projects that you've done. Keep track of the languages that you've picked up over time, and then submit your resume to companies. Like, submit your application to data analyst jobs if you've been learning SQL, because data analyst jobs, they will test you on your SQL competency. And if you can pass those SQL tests, that means your SQL is good enough. Similarly, with data scientist positions, if you submit your resume to these places and a recruiter wants to talk to you, and then you get to the technical part of it and you pass the Python part, then your Python's pretty good or sufficient to perform on-job duties. Now, on the other hand, let's say, for example, you submit your application, your resume to a data analyst position, and you take the SQL test, and they say, well, you can really work on your SQL skills. Then that's feedback. Yeah, it's not the result you want right away, but that's feedback that, hey, I need to work or brush up on my SQL skills. And so those are some of the obstacles you'll face, like just not feeling like you're good enough, and then two, not knowing if your skills are progressing. And so a good way to combat those is one, remind yourself that you can do it. Have the mindset that you're going to get this done and you're going to become a data analyst or data scientist, whichever you're striving for. And then two, submit your resume, keep it up to date, and then push them out so that you can kind of gauge within the job market if your SQL and Python skills are up to par. I wanted to end this video with a very personal story. Hopefully it's something that you can relate to or gain encouragement from. And so 3 years ago, I decided that I wanted to become a data scientist. I went about it by learning all the things that Medium or Towards Data Science told me I had to learn. So R, Python, machine learning, statistics. It was very aimless. It was really hard to understand if I was leveling up, if I was even good enough. Eventually, I decided to do grad school, but even during grad school, it was really uncomfortable at times because I wasn't sure if I would ever become a data scientist. But slowly through baby steps, I gained the confidence of understanding Python because I was doing it more often. That's an encouragement to you guys as you're picking up new technical skills, is that if you want to really know SQL or Python, you really have to work at it. But that journey was tough. It was very unclear if I was gonna make it. After year one of grad school, I was like, oh my gosh, there's still so much more that I have to do. There were a lot of things I was scared of. What was this ever gonna amount to anything? Would I ever become a data scientist? And so, as I mentioned, this was 3 years ago. I did not become a data scientist until August of this year. And so, in total, it took about 2.5 years maybe to get to where I was. And so, that's all this video has been about, right? It's about being patient, it's about believing that you'll get somewhere, or the end goal that you have in mind. And you're just going to have to push through consistent effort, consistent belief, consistent hard work that you're going to get there. And so my encouragement to you guys is, if you're scared, uh, let me know what you're afraid of. Like, drop down in the comment section below what are some of the things you're scared of, or fearful of, because hey, like, how you're feeling is probably exactly how I felt 3 years ago. To this day, when I'm working on my job, as I'm putting together the analysis of, recommendations, I get scared too. I'm like, oh shoot, like, what if what I'm putting out there isn't good enough? So it's a very normal feeling, guys. My encouragement is to share it, voice it, so that it doesn't consume you. So again, like, we here at Learn Analytics understand that feeling. So let us know. Comment below, ask more questions. Like, I love answering your questions. I mentor some folks who are just always asking me questions, and I'm happy to answer their questions. All right, y'all. Until next time, keep learning, keep asking questions, and subscribe.